If you think 1993 low mileage red Cobras are not meant to be driven and they need to be preserved, this is not the video for you. But if you want them driven like Ford did, stay tuned. Hello and welcome to Gearhead 704. I'm Matt, and guys, today I have a very fun one for you. You know I like 93 Cobras. This is an original one. Of course, Tar Heel Fox is a Cobra clone, but there is no clone with this one. I'm gonna bring in the current owner, Casey. We're gonna talk all about the car. But before we do that, let me give you a little walk around cinematic. You can see what it looks like. Hey Casey, welcome to the channel.
Hi guys.
Thanks for sharing your car with us today. How long ago did you buy this, the 93?
So I bought it in April of 2020.
Okay, so you've had it about 18 months or so, close to that?
Yep.
Very cool. How many miles was on it when you got it?
Approximately 6,500.
I just had him put the hood down, guys. We're gonna raise it up because it's got the current mileage. He's got a sign for this. So had about 6,500 miles, 18 months ago, look at that. And we're getting close to 13, aren't we?
Just shy, yeah.
Yeah.
12, 9, 15, something like that.
So you actually are driving your 93 Cobra.
Yeah, so last year I put approximately 1,500 miles on it because everything was locked down.
Right.
This year I took it to Myrtle Beach twice and then brought it to Charlotte this week.
You went to Mustang Week and FoxBodies to the beach? Did you
Yes.
go there? Okay.
Yep. So that right there makes up most of the miles that
And
I've done so
you
far.
drove it to all the shows. You don't trailer it.
No, I
Yeah.
don't own a truck.
Why trailer it? I mean,
No, it's got to drive them.
yeah.
I mean, that's what they're for.
I love it. So, and this is a cool thing. I want to show this here, guys. I was asking him, like, what do you do? How do you, like, when you turn over the mileage? You got a little secret here.
So this is just a little picture frame, and I just store the next miles.
And he's already set.
Behind it, so.
He's ready to go. You're going to need the 13 on the way home, I think.
Yes, yeah, for sure.
Very cool. Well, one of the things actually about a car this old, even though it's low mileage, it still is how many years old? 93, almost 30 years old, right?
Yep.
And so you probably had a few issues, right?
Yeah, so when I bought it, the known issues were the passenger door lock actuator had froze up, which is very strange. It's usually the driver's side. And then the other thing was the temperature sensor had gone out, so it wasn't registering a temperature the whole way home. And then the airbag light was flashing, which I thought just meant a fuse or something, and it turns out the clock spring had popped from age, and then airbag control module had zapped too. I guess when the clock spring popped, it took that out too.
Okay.
So when I first bought it, yeah, I had to replace sensor and the airbag control module, the clock spring, and then last winter when I was getting it ready to put away for winter, I had them flush this radiator because I have no idea when it was last flushed. And of course it blew the seams out on the heater core. So this was still R12, and it was still blowing cold.
Wow.
So they had to, of course, cut the line to get the box out from behind the dash. So I wasn't super pleased about that, but I mean, there's nothing I can do about it. So
Your R134A now? Yeah.
Yeah, it's been converted, and it blows very cold, and the heat works great too.
Well, that's good. And let's back up a little bit because I forgot. There are a few things that are not stock. You made me think of one. One's the radiator. So when you got the car, what were the non-stock items on it?
Okay, so when I bought it, the 4-core radiator with the electric fan, the Cobra valve covers, the intake was polished and lifted with a spacer.
It's got a spacer on there, okay.
It had a cold air induction tube on it, but I took it off because I didn't like it.
I think these look a lot better, honestly.
I do too, honestly, yeah. The B303 cam is what I believe is in it. I don't have confirmation on that, but the other thing is it's got 410 gears.
410s?
Yep, and then BBK shorty headers.
Okay.
And I think there's Flowmaster mufflers on the back. Honestly, I haven't crawled under there to look.
Okay. The 410s, how is that, because you do drive it, how is that on the highway?
So here's the thing about the 410s. When you go to take off, if you don't pretty much mash it to the floor immediately, it starts to buck and kick and wants to stall on you. Once you're moving, it's fine. I even find it very pleasant on the freeway.
Really?
Even without cruise control, like this car is very smooth on the freeway. It's always that when you're in stop and go traffic, it's terrible.
Okay.
It's not fun. For me anyway. I've debated going down to 373s or 355s, but I just, you know, so many things you can do in 1 year, so I just haven't gotten around to that yet. Personally, like, again, I think they're fine if you're doing, like, driving more than a few feet and then stopping.
Yeah, I was just wondering, like, kind of like the highway RPMs, you know?
It usually rests between 2,000 and 2,500, depending on
That's not too bad then.
Yeah,
oh, okay. You still got the original Cobra wheels, obviously.
Yes, they need to be refinished.
What'd you do suspension-wise?
So I did the 4 B lowering springs.
Okay, B springs?
I did subframe rails that are actually bolts in so that you can remove them if you wish.
Oh, really? Okay. That's reversible. That's cool. They're not welded on. Yeah.
Right. And I did a K-member brace rather than replacing the whole K-member.
Yeah.
So it just stiffens it up a little bit.
And that can also be removed then. You did a Steeda shifter?
Yes, because the stock one was so sloppy that I decided it needed something a little stiffer.
Well, how did it drive after all the suspension changes?
It was night and day. And so when I drove it home, when I purchased it, as most Fox bodies, it swayed a lot in the front. The subframe rails on the K-member brace stiffened it up a little bit. I mean, it's not drastic, but enough that I noticed.
You noticed, yeah.
Right away. It doesn't want to, you know, jump back.
It doesn't float as much now, right?
Yeah.
You still got the stock caster camber plates, obviously, but it's just the springs. Did you change the struts and shocks at that time?
Actually, no. I probably should have, but there was no reason to. They weren't bad yet. So I was just like, let's just leave them for now. It's good enough.
Yeah, it's not like they had tons of mileage on them. So what's kind of like, did you intend to buy this Cobra to drive it like this? Is that your intention?
So
how did we end up here for a Casey for 6,000 miles to almost 13?
You know, my initial reaction when buying this car was no, absolutely not. I'm not going to drive this car. And then the more I thought about it, I was like, what's the point of having this beautiful car and nobody ever gets to see it? And then plus, you know, I was replacing all these parts that had just corroded and failed because of, you know, just age, just sitting. And I was like, it's actually better for them to be driven, I think, because then, like, the heater core doesn't rot from the inside out, and you know the sensors don't go bad because they get fouled up. And, you know,
sitting and age is not kind to these cars, guys. I really agree with Casey here. I mean, yeah, mileage is one thing, but age is another. And now that you're driving it, you're probably not going to have things. Well, you're going to know what breaks. You already know now with these mileage. You know it's going to break.
Yeah. So after I replaced the after I replaced the clock spring in the airbag control module, I was backing out of a parking space one day, and I heard this really loud pop and this like electrical kind of surge in the car. And the airbag control module that I had put in was a used one, but it failed as well. And then I tried another one and it was bad, and I tried another one and it was bad. So I just sent them all off to this guy I know in Pittsburgh, and he's trying to fix them for me. And if he doesn't fix them, I'm not too worried about it. Gen 1 airbags weren't exactly, you know, safe on your face.
No, they really weren't.
So yeah, and he actually, when I started up the spring for the first time, all the capacitors and the resistors blew in the stock PCM. Oh. So
you had to have that rebuilt, or
I did, yeah. Okay. So I sent that one to that guy in Pittsburgh, and he rebuilt it for me, and like he didn't charge me hardly anything. In the meantime, I had bought a aftermarket one, and I just was not impressed with the quality. I won't name the company, but I wasn't impressed with the quality. Okay. And the car just didn't run right with it, probably because this one had been tuned. It's got a chip in it and stuff. And
oh, it had been. I didn't know that.
Yeah,
okay.
It had been tuned and chipped, and the timing and stuff matched that. And it just didn't run right with the plain one. So, you know, I'm pretty happy now. Every once in a while, the engine light likes to sneak on. I don't know if it's a vacuum leak, if it's, you know, something to do.
Maybe
with
it's an O2 sensor. I don't know.
I replace those. It does it once in a while. I'll be honest with you. It's usually when I fill it up. Okay. So I don't know if it's the seal, you know, for the gas cap that's acting up. I don't know what it is, but it goes off usually within like 15 minutes and it's fine.
I forgot to ask you on the H-pipe, are you still running the stock H-pipe?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Wow.
Still got the cats and everything.
Wow.
Yep.
You don't see that very often.
No, you really.
What do you got? A couple things here. Is it Dyno?
So this was the Dyno that was done on it back in the 90s.
Oh, back in the 90s, okay.
So this is when he did all the mods on it. So
looks like it made about 260 at the tire, which that's actually pretty good because this is not like a super heavy modified car. I'm actually wondering, looking at that number, Casey, I'm kind of thinking if that's right, those heads might have a little port work.
You think so?
I think so, because that's close to 300, but you're just talking about GT40 heads, a B-cam, and a Cobra intake. If not the heads, maybe the intake. I don't know. That'd be interesting.
It does have a spacer, so maybe it's just breathing better.
Yeah. Yeah, well, that's a pretty good number. Does it feel it's pretty fun to drive?
Yes, I have a 2020.
Okay, enough said.
So
compared to that,
This feels very antiquated and very,
Does it feel more raw though? That's what a lot of people say. It feels a little bit more raw and connected to the road.
Oh yeah, for sure. Like you feel every little pebble, you feel every little twitch of the steering wheel. Yeah, you definitely have more of a connection to the car. I can be in my 2020 cruising down the freeway at 100 and not even know.
Right, it's easy
not
to
that
get
I would ever go 100.
No, we don't condone that here on Gearhead 704.
You almost, it's weird, but you almost become disconnected from it because it's so smooth,
right?
And just you don't even notice.
And that's what's cool about, I think, what you did with the suspension mods. You know, is it probably made you feel the road even more.
Yes, I mean, although it improves what you're feeling, it definitely gives you more of a connection to to the road, and you can tell like, oh, well, that bump up there is going to be an issue. I better swerve around that, things like that. Because in the new one, like you could hit a small pothole, and not even know.
Would you mind if I show this interior just a little bit?
Absolutely.
Yeah, let's look at this, guys. Opal gray, mint opal gray. Now this is where you can tell it's a 6,000 mile car. Okay, now can we look at the matte pockets?
Oh, I deleted those.
You did?
Yeah, they were like most of the Foxes. They were stretched out and started getting caught in the door.
Okay.
So they had holes in them. So I just deleted them completely.
Okay. Yeah, the seat is tight. I need to check the driver's side, but you can tell. And you still got the original CD?
Oh, it's cassette.
Oh, it is. Yeah. Oh, I thought they all got CDs, but you're right. Ah, I didn't realize that.
Yeah.
I thought all the 93 Cobras had CDs.
So those were
considered
a premium upgrade for like $1,500.
Oh, wow. Well, that's not worth it.
Yeah.
All right, here we go. We still got the factory window sticker. Yep, nice bolstering there. There you go. Back in 1993. Wow, you could get it for less than 21 grand, just over 20. I don't think you can get that for this today.
No.
And of course you got the SVT team. That is really cool. Well, I love Casey, I love that you're driving it, enjoying it, and I hope the viewers do too. So if not, they probably already disliked and they're stopped watching by now. We're glad you're enjoying it and you had a lot of fun with it, right?
Yes, absolutely. This is the third really huge show that I've done with it this year. I went to Fox Buddies at the beach in April, Mustang Week in September, and then now in Charlotte.
You're going to take it to shows next year too?
Yes, I probably not as many because I'll be in the process of moving. It needs to be shipped to where I'm moving to.
Okay.
But in the spring and early summer, yeah, for sure.
Well, do you have any further plans for it, or are you just going to keep driving it?
I contemplated doing a Vortec supercharger on at some point, but I keep getting pulled back to no, keep it stock, looking under the hood. And my daily is my race car, so
there you go.
That's what I go to for the horsepower. So.
Yeah, this is when you want to look good and enjoy the drive, right?
That's right. This was in a movie a couple weekends ago.
No way, get out. This car was in a movie?
Yeah.
Where at?
Student film at OU. University. There was one professional actress actually in the movie. The rest of them were the students. But yeah, the director was looking for a classic car to put in his movie, and one of the actresses had to climb in the back seat for one of the shots, and I was like, uh-oh, she's not a backseat virgin anymore.
Oh, I saw that picture on your Instagram. By the way, I need to put his Instagram up on the screen. I was wondering what that was. I just thought that was your girlfriend or something.
No, that was one of the actresses.
Okay, that is cool. Do you know what the name of the movie is?
I think it's called Hike. It should be out early next year.
Here's what we're gonna do, guys. I'll connect with him offline and we'll put the title up here because I would love they could see this car in that movie. That'd be really cool.
Yep. The really cool thing was when I got home after the shoot, which was an awesome experience, by the way. Thank you, Max. So when I got home, I was teasing him and I said, do I get a credit in the movie as the stunt driver? And he said, yeah, we can do that. So
credited in the movie too?
Yeah, for being the stunt driver because all the shots with the actors, the car was still. Yep. And then I did like the driving in and out of the frame, the beginning and the end of the scene.
Well, I was gonna say, guys, I was gonna tell him this is his big, Hollywood moment here on this little YouTube channel, but no, he has a real Hollywood moment. So now I'm jealous, Casey. You may be jealous twice because you have a 93 Cobra and you got to be in a movie. Credit in the movie.
Yes, absolutely.
Actually, guys, we're gonna go ahead and get that start up right now. You can't beat that old push rod sound, Casey. Your S550 doesn't sound like this.
Oh, no, it roars in a different way.
Yeah, it does.
But it doesn't have that chop.
I love that. They're different. They're both enjoyable. But me personally, I love the push rod. One last thing, guys, before we end up, we got to see. Well, it's got the snake on it, but there's the ashtray door. Oh, yep, no problem. But I messed up your snake.
Oh, that's fine.
I'm gonna let him fix the snake, but we have a working ashtray. Maybe I can get it back on there for you, Casey. All right, I kind of got it, but he fell down. So sorry about that. Anyway, big thanks to Casey for sharing the car here on the channel, and I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please hit the like button. If you're stopping in for the first time, please subscribe because I got a lot more Foxtoberfest content coming for you. See you here next time on Gearhead 704.
They all got like kind of nervous. They were like, is it okay that we're sitting on the back seat for the first time? And I was like, yeah, it's fine.
She is no longer, guys, 93 Cobra is no longer a backseat virgin anymore.